everyone, welcome back to Talking Toku, the only podcast where we talk about sci-fi monsters and dinosaur adventures. I am your host, David.
I'm Brian.
And Brian, it's time.
The new Monke.
The new Monke has arrived in theaters across the world.
Yep. Making a good amount of money, too, from what I saw.
It really is, and that's good. But yeah.
Good and bad, depending on your point of view.
Oh, no, I think it's good in general, where I want to be positive. General,
but, you know.
Yeah, if you haven't figured it out by the time that this episode is coming out and the title of this episode, we're talking about Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Sorry, I mean The New Monke, because that's the real title, as we all know. It's the title we chose here on Talking Toku, and it's the title we are sticking with.
Do you remember who made it? Was it me or you?
I don't know. I'd have to go back to our predictions episode on this movie and find out.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Oh well. One of us did.
Yeah. Well, yeah, one of us had to have. It's only us, right?
Whatever. We're like the same person.
That's true. I mean, we were talking about it the other day in DMs, and we had the exact same thought at the exact same time.
That's true.
So
that was weird.
That was really good, though. It was funny.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that. We can't not talk about that scene in our actual discussion for it. So
it's true.
Yeah, I mean, everyone else, it's one of the things about the movie that I'm seeing a lot of people online talk about, with good reason, mind you. Like, I'm glad people are talking about it because it's funny.
It is funny,
but a couple.
We'll get to that later, though.
Yeah, we got a little bit of news to talk about. Brian, your all-time favorite brand crossover has returned.
Oh, my favorite dead horse.
Yeah. It's back, Brian. Call of Duty. They're doing it again.
I don't know, like, if you actually looked at the skins, but they all look really bad.
They look fine. It's whatever.
It's just funny to me that this new Call of Duty era was, like, supposed to be, like, hyper realistic.
Oh, and they just abandoned that entirely.
And now they're doing this.
I find it funny because they have three skins. They have one for Shimo, Scar King, and Godzilla, but not for Kong.
Yeah,
I don't like.
They didn't have the budget.
But it's weird because, like, kind of just like with Godzilla versus Kong, like, Kong is very much the main character here, and like he's the one they don't have a skin for. What happened, man? What's going on?
I don't know.
What's going on, Activision?
Maybe because they were just like, oh, we have one monkey skin, why we need two?
But, like,
you know,
I guess. I don't know. Just doing Kong dirty. Also, the Godzilla one is just blue, but he's not purple like he is in the movie. I mean, he's blue for a good chunk of the movie, but, like, I would have thought you'd want to do it, like, based on the evolved version of Godzilla, because that's that's the thing all the marketing's using.
You'd think so.
So I don't know. It's Call of Duty. Who knows what the hell they're doing? I sure don't.
It's gonna be the worst of all the video game Godzilla crossovers.
Right, it probably is, honestly.
Yeah, and number one will always be Minecraft Godzilla when it worked.
Yeah, when it worked. I don't think we ever talked. We alluded to it on one of the last couple episodes, but we didn't like.
Well, I'll explain myself.
Yeah.
So I promised Dave that he'd be able to play the Minecraft Godzilla crossover when he was visiting me here in Washington. And I lied to him because apparently my game decided to completely break, and then Minecraft itself needs like 12 years to restart a world from scratch. And so I just never gave a fuck enough to do it. And then Dave lost a chance, and he's too cheap to buy Minecraft himself, despite it only being like $15.
I never said I was too cheap. I never said I didn't want to buy it myself. That was never the reason.
It's your actions, Dave. You lazy cheap motherfucker. I know you. You can't lie to me.
I just don't think I'd play it all that often to like justify. Like I barely played Helldivers too.
Honestly, same. Helldivers has gotten.
I think I played it once after Yumi and Corey played it that one time, and then I haven't touched it since.
If you want to play it again, I'm totally down.
I would love to play it again. I had a great time with it.
I hate playing it with Kalen.
Okay.
Because he puts it on the hardest difficulty. I'm totally making fun of somebody that does not give a shit about this podcast right now. He's a son of a bitch. He always puts everything on the hardest difficulty and makes games unfun.
Yeah, we're talking about these people like all our audience members know who we're talking about.
You don't know who Kalen is, and you don't want to know who he is.
No, you don't. I've met him once. That's more than enough.
He is a capital G gamer, but he's not welcome here.
I mean, you say capital G gamer like it's a good thing, Brian.
It's not a good thing.
Exactly.
Anyways.
So that's the story of how I tried
Call
to
of
play
Duty Godzilla.
That's the story of how I tried to play Minecraft Godzilla and just couldn't. So
yeah,
maybe someday.
I got the world to work after you left, after me sitting on the couch waiting for it to reset.
So you're saying I need to book up another flight back to Seattle immediately?
Can you fly into Vancouver this time? I hate driving into Seattle.
I don't even. That'd probably be so much money, though.
Not really. It's like the same amount.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. Never mind.
I think it's actually cheaper.
Really?
Pretty sure. I don't know. I'd have to. I mean, cheaper all around, including like gas.
That's fair.
Stuff.
Isn't Vancouver also like another 2-hour drive though?
The airport isn't.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it.
Airport's only like an hour and a half.
That's fair. All right. Well,
yeah.
Moving on. We got some news on Shinpei Hayashia, the director of the Raigo trilogy. His new film, War of the Ninja Monsters, Jaron vs. Gora, is getting a Blu-ray from SRS Cinema. Surprise, surprise. I kind of figured that was going to be the case, but hey, it's like I didn't even know the movie was done, honestly. Like I remember hearing about it when it first got announced, and I just kind of forgot about it until now.
When did this come out?
Like the movie or the Blu-ray?
The movie.
I don't know. I don't know. Like the announcement or
like when? Because you said you didn't even know it came out. Like when did it come out?
I don't know. I think this good thing is he's an independent director. Like it's not like a big budget thing. Like
no, I know.
I don't even know if it came out in Japan.
Oh, this is it.
Maybe
this is the release then.
Yeah, I mean the news dropped. Is there a date on this article? Why is there no date on this article? Unless I'm blind
or dyslexic. Maybe?
I don't know.
Look for things that are backwards.
I don't see a date. Like there's no date under the headline, which is where it would normally be, you know? So I don't know.
Maybe it's like an E3 announcement where it's released right now as soon as the announcement happens.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I know it was crowdfunded initially. So I honestly, what does IMDb tell me? Is it going to tell me anything? No, it's not telling me anything. Thanks, IMDb. You're fucking useless.
IMDb isn't here to be helpful, Dave.
I know.
It's here to give you trivia.
It's true. Oh, hold on. This is another Sci-Fi Japan. This is casting, but again, there's no date anywhere. Okay. You know what? I'm giving up. Point is, War of the Ninja Monsters, Jaron vs. Gora is getting a Blu-ray release. The pre-order is up now. It's expected to ship in late July, August if they end up hitting their goal, because the way SRS works is the more people buy it, the more they can the more copies of it they can make. So you should go buy it because, hey, we're all about supporting indie tokusatsu on this show. I know we don't cover a whole lot of it. We should. If you want to, if you want us to cover independent toku, let us know. We'd be happy to. Give us some suggestions.
Howl from Beyond the Fog was one of my favorite things we ever watched for
and that was like
episode.
2 years ago we did that.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was a hot minute ago. So
what's the new one? The one that we've been following for a while. That's coming out.
Brush of the
soon.
God.
It's just got the Brush of the God. We'll probably cover that.
We probably will, but
definitely.
I don't remember if did they have a release date in that last trailer?
I don't remember. I think
actually
I don't think so.
Come
I don't think we ever talked about it.
So it actually did premiere in Japan last month.
Oh shit! Okay.
So I imagine we will see it here in the States this year.
Is it gonna have a limited theatrical run, or is it just gonna go?
Oh, I doubt it. Or in Japan or here.
I mean, anywhere.
Wikizilla,
like just in general.
Wikizilla says a wider Japanese theatrical release will follow in the summer, with plans to also release the film overseas sometime in the future. So that's all we got.
Huh. Okay.
If we do get that, which I'm sure we will. We'll definitely cover Brush of the God for sure because I want to see it.
Looking forward to it.
Fucking sick.
Sad we didn't get one of those heads.
We didn't have $2,000 to spare, Brian, or however much it was.
I think it was about that, yeah.
Yeah. Next time they make a movie, next time Daisuke Sato does something, we'll pool we'll save our pennies and do our due diligence.
You got it. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I try my best. No, I don't. That's false. I'm lying. I lie.
We don't try our best here.
No. And it should be painfully obvious that we don't from any of the episodes we record.
And if you're still listening, that's on you.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't know what to tell you. You should know what you've gotten into by this point. 3 years on.
Okay.
Oh, you know what?
Do we have what?
There is. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about, but I don't remember what it was. But there was another thing I wanted to talk about. Not really news related, but there was one other thing. What the hell was it? I don't remember. Shit. But the other thing I want to talk about that is happening today, as of recording, April 2nd, right? It's the 2nd? Today's the 2nd. 20 years ago, a little movie called Hellboy came out.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm seeing a lot of love on Twitter for it, and it makes me really happy that a lot of people love that movie because I love that movie. Hellboy is such a good movie. That was the first Del Toro film I ever saw. It was the first No, that's not true. That was not the first Ron Perlman movie I saw. The first Ron Perlman movie I saw was fucking Alien Resurrection, and my dad came in and was like, "Oh, that's Hellboy." I'm like, "What the hell is Hellboy?" He's like, "Oh, sit your butt down. I'm gonna tell you what Hellboy is." And then I fucking fell in love with Hellboy.
I'm so sorry that the first Ron Perlman movie
was Alien Resurrection, right? Yeah,
that's so sad. Oh no,
what a terrible first impression, right?
Yeah, that's bad. But you know what? Hellboy more than makes up for it.
Yeah,
so
100%. Hellboy is the reason that I named Ron Perlman as my favorite actor for a while.
I personally think that Hellboy 2 is also real good.
Hellboy 2 is phenomenal.
Oh yeah. I love both those fucking movies. The new one that came out sucked ass and should never have been made.
Yep.
But yeah, those old ones were legit. So did Del Toro did he ever say if he had any more ideas for other sequels?
They were trying to get the Hellboy 3 made for God knows how long. They just couldn't get the funding. Oh yeah, no, they just couldn't get the funding because Hellboy 2 did like terribly at the box office.
I saw that movie in theaters with my dad.
So did I.
Hell yeah.
We did our part. Did you,
Yeah, we did.
fellow listener? Did you go to see Hellboy 2: The Golden Army in theaters? If you didn't, it's your fault that Hellboy 3 never happened.
I mean, hey, you know what? We're finally, after God knows how many years, getting a Constantine 2.
I know,
maybe,
right? Well,
maybe we'll get...
hold on. Knock on wood. There's a very good chance that'll be one of the things that Warner Brothers cancels to get fucking tax cuts.
Oh, shit, you're right.
That like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was like one of the first things they're like, nah, fuck this movie. We don't need this.
I don't know, dude. They could see Keanu Reeves being an asset. I would maybe say
at the same time, they straight up canceled a Looney Tunes movie that was done, that was finished.
That is a good point. Didn't it get uncanceled though? Like, didn't someone?
They were thinking about it. No, so they said they were open to shopping it around to different distributors, but they were asking like their asking price was like 3 times the budget for the movie. So like they basically said like, oh yeah, we'll let people offer to pay it for us, but like they didn't want to actually give the movie away, so they just like, yeah, we'll just ask for a shitload of money that no one will be willing to pay.
That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. And there's been no word on that since. So who knows if we'll ever see Coyote v Acme. I would love to. Hopefully I don't someday. Know if I ever will. But yeah. God, there was one other thing, and I don't know what it was. What was I going to talk about? Sad. I'll never remember.
Was this something you told me about, or?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't remember what it was. It was something cool, though. I don't know. I don't even know where I saw it. I don't know if it was on Instagram, on Twitter. Oh, well. It'll haunt me for the rest of my life, I guess.
That's exaggerated.
Let me have this, Brian. Let me have my funny little bits. God.
Okay.
Oh, I remembered what it was.
Oh my God.
Big fat grain of salt with this. Apparently, Gogola has been found. There's some dude on r/Godzilla, our favorite subreddit, that someone has apparently found the Indian kaiju film from 1966, Gogola. It's been considered a lost film, like, for God knows how long. But apparently there's some dude on Reddit claiming he has a print of it. I don't know if it's actually true. We'll see if that's the case. So not even a grain of salt, just a whole, go out and buy yourself a whole thing of Morton's from the grocery store and take that news with that.
This is r/Godzilla. I don't believe a goddamn word.
I know. There. I did see some posts the other day about like someone responding to that, like, yeah, this guy's story doesn't really line up all that much. So I don't know if Gogola actually has been found. I'm not going to hold my breath. If it has, if I'm wrong, that'll be really, really cool, because that means it'll, we'll get a previously thought lost film, just like Space Monster Wang Magui. I don't even know if that was last year or the year before, but it'd be cool. We'll see. Fingers crossed. But again, not holding my breath. Okay, we did it. Cool.
We did.
I got through the thing. I remembered it. We're chugging along. Just a normal Talking Toku episode.
Sure is. A lot of rambling.
What else is new? All right. Speaking of rambling, should we talk about this movie?
Yeah, we should finally talk about this movie.
It's the movie we've all been waiting for.
Speaking of finally, our #1 fan, Sam, gave me a lot of shit for you saying that she was on thin ice.
Oh, really? I didn't even remember what I said she was on thin ice for.
She didn't like Final Wars.
Oh, I stand by my statement.
She wrote something.
Oh my
about
God,
it
she
to
wrote a
me.
response. Oh my
She wrote a
God.
response.
Oh, lay it on me.
Okay, all right. Let's all right,
She has me on
hold
Discord.
on.
She can just message me herself.
Nah. No, this was funnier.
Okay.
All right, one sec. See if I can fucking find this.
What a great episode, huh, guys?
I'm gonna have to search it.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right, I got it.
All right, let's hear it.
Just heard my #1 fan status is on thin ice because I don't like Final Wars. No regret. Bad movie. 2 out of 10. Why is there a random white guy? Can't remember it that well. Took me multiple tries to watch it. I think it was unmemorable.
I'd say Final Wars is anything but not memorable. Brian, she does know your high school yearbook quote was from that movie, right?
She's got to by now.
I would hope so. I stand by what I said. I stand by what I said. I'm not. This is not a retraction. Fuck it.
Damn.
I'm not backing down.
Sexist.
Whoa, okay. All right. Now you're just making shit up, Brian.
Yeah. I'm just making shit up. But no, that was funny. I just had to tell you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Don't worry, Sam. Your #1 fan status is never going to be on thin ice as long as I'm here.
Well, Brian, it's funny you say that.
We love nepotism.
It's funny. It's funny you say that. I'm kicking you off the show.
Fuck. All right, it's time for me to go. I got a lot more time now. Cool.
That's true. You can go. You can finally watch Gamera of the Brave.
I can finally watch Gamera of the Brave.
I did consider like forcing you to sit down and watch that when I was visiting, but we were just watching too much other stuff. We never got around to it.
Yeah, like the Lake Michigan monster.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to do that episode at some point, aren't we?
Classics.
Oh God.
All right, let's
talk about the new Monke.
This. Holy shit! All right, I guess we should just. I mean, my notes kind of go in order.
Yeah, a lot of the notes you had are some that I agree with, so I didn't do a whole lot of notes. But
well, we'll start. I'll say a note, and then if you have related.
I mean, we could just do like an overall thoughts, like right off the bat, like a good or bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because this is a new movie.
This is a brand new movie. No one has seen it before. We are the only people on the entire planet who have seen this movie.
I mean, actually, funny story. I did go to an early screening of it, so for a little while, I was one of the few.
That's true. That's true. Well, I mean, not so much because they had the premiere like a couple days before that.
That is true.
So you didn't get to go to that.
Nah, I wouldn't have wanted to.
You wouldn't have wanted to go to a red carpet premiere for a Godzilla movie?
In fucking Hollywood? No.
Well, if you lived in like the LA area.
I guess so.
Yeah. When else are you gonna get a chance to go to a Hollywood premiere and for a Godzilla movie?
Not? All right, I'd go. Yeah. Jesus. Get off my ass.
Okay. No, fuck you, Brian. Anyways.
All right, so spoiler-free thoughts. It was exactly what I thought it was gonna be. It had a bit more style, but it's still very like Marvel-y, just kind of like, for mass consumption. That's basically what I thought. It was fun. It was fun watching it the first time, but I have zero drive to go see it again because I saw everything. Like there's nothing to really go back to.
That's pretty much where I am. Like it's exactly the movie I was expecting it to be. I did enjoy it more than I expected to. Like and maybe it's because I kind of went in with low expectations that I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. But like, yeah, it's fun. That's kind of all it has going for it. In my review, I equated it to McDonald's.
Yeah, I like that.
In that, like, it's not good, but like it's pretty tasty when you're eating it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, asking for substance from the MonsterVerse is like going to McDonald's and asking for a tomahawk steak. They don't serve that there. I'm sorry. You gotta go somewhere else. You gotta go to a Godzilla -1 or a Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah, etc., etc. That's not what you're here for. So like it you know, it's fun. It's an enjoyable time. Like you said, I enjoyed my time with it, but I'm not rushing out to see it again like I was for -1.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll take what I can get.
Yeah. I mean, like for me, like I went in with very neutral expectations. Like I tried to like go in not expecting the worst thing, but like kind of just like I was expecting a 5 out of 10 and I got a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like I thought that the you know, all of the action set pieces and the effects, you know, they were great. I mean, obviously that's where a lot of their budget goes to. And you know, we've said this a lot on here, but like the MonsterVerse still continues to kill it with their original kaiju design.
Yes. Very much
like
so.
It's like if anything, I am glad that like I will keep going to these as long as we get that. I think funny enough, the weakest kaiju from these movies for me have been the Toho ones.
Really? You think
Like,
so?
Yeah, personally, if I had them stacked against all the original ones that we've been getting, and also like the male and female Mudos, like I think that those like they're all just more interesting.
Really interesting. I mean, I guess I can kind of see where you're coming from. I think the thing is because like those characters, you know, were created 60, almost 70 years ago at this point. So it's like back then character design was very different than what it was now. So like it's kind of hard to update a character that old and still make it like interesting to look at. You know, with Mothra, it's like, okay, how do you update a giant moth to look interesting
make it look like a more realistic moth?
Yeah, right. But it's like, yes,
essentially.
But stuff like the Mudos and Shimo, like they're new characters. You can kind of do whatever the hell you want with them and make them look however the hell you want them to.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, so I can see where you're going with that.
I mean, for me, it's also like, you know, with like Rodan and King Ghidorah, Mothra, like you just kind of know what to expect. Like Ghidorah's fucking evil. Like he's always gonna be. Rodan, he's just a dick. He's usually how he is. Mothra, benevolent, chill as fuck. Like they're never, the fiber of what those characters are is never gonna change. And so like I already know what to expect from them. But with all these new monsters, like, you know, it's more interesting and you get to like kind of, you know, you get to just have more fun with it. You know, there's more freedom to making these new designs. Like even the small ones, like the big serpent, that was cool. I was like, holy shit, that thing is amazing. I was a little sad by how quickly Kong killed it.
Yeah.
But you know, still, like, it's just shit like that. Like, a lot of the Hollow Earth stuff this time around, like, I thought was way more interesting. I still, at this point, I'm kind of glad they're not trying to, like, over-explain it anymore, and they're just being like, yeah, whatever. It's just, it's Journey to the Center of the Earth. Like, who gives a fuck, you know?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, I just, after a certain point, I like to stop giving a shit about all the inconsistencies, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, you just want an excuse to have a cool landscape, and honestly, I kind of respect it.
You could do a lot worse for that.
You could do a lot worse, and you know, at the very least, it is original as hell.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, And so yeah, I'm definitely more on board with the world and stuff, and the kaiju design is good. But you know, when it comes to characters, dialogue, story progression, it's Marvel, just in a different skin. It's very, very, very similar. And I didn't go in expecting a Godzilla minus one, or even a Godzilla 2014.
I'm
I think
seeing
that
like
I should
entirely too many people online comparing this to Godzilla minus one, and it's like
it's just not.
they're
It's not.
two entirely different movies. Like it's not even apples and oranges at that point. It's fucking apples and cucumbers. We're not even in the same wheelhouse.
Yeah. I think they're like, I understand why people do that, because they're like, oh, I like the more adult version of this, you know? And like people get some kind of feeling of like superiority for that. And like, I get it. Like I used to, like I still am very much the same. I like the adult, more grown up takes on the character. But I feel like I have come to the point where I'm just like, you can't even blame these new ones for being like this, because they're just a different flavor of the same thing.
Yeah, they're
and
marketed.
Like if it's not for you, then it's not for you, but it doesn't mean it can't be for other people.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where I'm starting to, and which a lot of that is coming from a lot of reports I've been seeing that like at all the screenings people are going to, there's been a ton of kids in the audience, which is so great to hear. You know, we've talked about it. I just saw
in my showing, people were just having a great time in general. I told you there was like a couple like about Sam and I's age, like a few seats over, and they were like having a fucking blast. They were like laughing and shit. And,
yeah.
Like out of all the movies I've gone to recently, I haven't seen a movie that's elicited that kind of reaction from people.
Yeah. It's just, it's very clearly just being, it's there. It's the movie that people are going to see just to have fun. And there is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, any more thoughts you want to get out of the way until we go into spoilers, or what do you think?
No, I think we can start heading into spoiler territory now.
All right. Well, spoilers definitively here. We're still gonna mention some non-spoiler stuff, but might as well just be safe.
Spoilers.
You're gonna go see this movie.
Godzilla
You're gonna go see
dies. It. No, he doesn't. That's a lie.
That would have been so funny. It would have been really funny.
What if he actually died?
If he died, if they pulled a bait and switch and he just dies.
Oh my god. Well, no, I'm pretty sure Toho said they can't do that. Like that was one of the things. Right. Like when they offered Godzilla up to Warner Brothers, that was like one of the rules they made. Like you can't kill Godzilla in any of these movies. Like that's off the table. I'm sorry, but
does that include the fake out deaths where they die and then it shows like the heart beating at the bottom of the ocean?
Well, clearly not, because that is what happened in King of the Monsters.
Oh,
remember?
That's true.
When the oxygen Sawyer, they're like, "Oh no, your Godzilla's dying."
No, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, you're right. That happens. Yeah, okay, that happens.
Yeah, so it's okay.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time, and I don't intend to again.
I haven't watched it since we reviewed it for this very show.
I think that was the last time I watched it too. So
well, we were gonna get really high and watch the entire MonsterVerse when I was visiting, but again, there was just too much to.
That fell through.
It was just too much to do, man.
I just don't think I had it in me.
I don't think I had it in me either, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Okay. Spoiler time. All right. What should I even go with first?
Dan Stevens fucking rocks, dude.
Yep. Dan Stevens is Trapper.
He's the fucking best.
Yeah. He brought a bunch of fun energy to the movie.
Which I knew he would.
Definitely.
I'm a big Dan Stevens fan. Like, I'm really biased. I understand that, but like every second he is on screen, he's just oozing charisma the whole time. And yeah, and he's got kind of a bromance going on with Bernie, and it's really great. It's really cute.
Yeah, I appreciated how he was kind of like a throwback to like the wacky Showa characters that you used to get. But it's not really the same, but I think it's what they were trying to go for.
Yeah, I noticed.
I liked it.
I see a lot of I've seen a lot of people like talking about like, oh, it's just like the Showa era, which like I never really understood. But like Adam Wingard himself has like apparently specifically mentioned that like he's trying to harken back to like the Champion Matsuri festival era of the Showa stuff, like specifically the 70s, and like I can kind of see where he's getting that, but it's not like, I don't know. It's hard to tell because like comparing, you know, a movie from 1970 that was made for like pocket change basically to a multi-million-dollar Hollywood blockbuster is impossible. Like it's
that's I had this exact conversation with my boss actually. I was just saying like people, because he's like kind of a Godzilla fan sort of, but he like we were saying like I was saying like I keep seeing the comparisons to the Showa movies, and I don't get it because the entire charm of those movies was for how cheap they were made and the effects.
Yeah.
And the tone and the fact that they still had characters that I liked. Like the Showa movies, like they're a product of their time, and it's I would say it's impossible to replicate that feel.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can sort of understand it because like those movies were made for kids. Like the Champion Matsuri Festival was like a children's event, and like this is also kind of very clearly like for kids. Like that's the audience this is being kind of marketed towards, which again, a lot of people have been saying like there's been a lot of kids in the audience, which is great. I love that. Yeah. So I can kind of see where you're going from that, but like stylistically and maybe not so much tonally, but like, yeah, like stylistically, it doesn't really feel all that similar. Also,
because of my favorite note that I wrote, brought to you by Volkswagen, reminds me that this is a product.
Yes, very much so.
For mass consumption.
Yeah.
In case anyone doesn't know what I mean by that, because apparently Dave didn't notice it right away.
I didn't catch it at all. I had to see someone talking about it on Twitter to actually notice it.
You want to explain it? Because
yeah, I will, I guess. So apparently early in the movie, it's when Eileen is picking up Gia from school, and she's like, "Oh, Gia, you're okay. You're fine." And Gia's like, "I don't belong anywhere. I am literally the last of my kind. I hate it here, Mom. I want to go home." And Eileen's like, "Okay, we'll go home." And then I guess it cuts. Again, didn't notice this at all in the theater, and I don't really know how I didn't. But
they both climb into a Volkswagen that is like it looks like it was shot for an advertisement.
It very much looks like it was shot for an advertisement. Like if you were to put like, if someone were to, and I'm sure that when the movie comes out and hits digital and VOD and everything, someone will 100% splice this into a Volkswagen ad. You wouldn't be able to tell.
Absolutely. It's so funny.
Yeah. Again, I'm kind of kicking myself. If anything, I almost want to go see the movie again just to see that. Just to see that.
I mean, it's just like so blatant. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Like I honestly feel like they purposefully made it this blatant to be memeable.
Maybe. Like hey, if you're gonna do product placement, it may as well have it be funny in that regard. You know, why not?
Yeah. It's just so weird. It was so funny to see it in theaters. Like I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a product, but I think with the Showa stuff, like I feel like Adam Wingard was probably saying that to try to appeal to like, you know, us older Godzilla fans.
That's fair. Yeah.
But like I think he might just not realize that they're not really the same thing. Like I know that he may want it to be like that, but part of the reason why I love the Showa films is because they're old and they're scrappy and they're very clearly made with not a lot of money, and I love the effects work and it's just very nostalgic. But you really can't replicate that with this blockbuster movie. You just can't.
Yeah.
So I feel like that it was really just him trying to get people like us in the theater, which if you're a Godzilla fan, you're going to go see a new Godzilla movie. So
there wasn't
honestly,
any doubt that people were not, that Godzilla fans were not going to go see a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Which, to
Maybe
be
he was just
fair,
trying to get people more on board with it, but
to be fair, this isn't really a Godzilla movie. Let's be honest.
It's not. All right, let's talk about Godzilla, because I don't even know.
There's a lot to talk about with Godzilla here.
It's for how little he is, like for how little he like screen time he has. There's so much to talk about.
Well, that's the thing.
How he was.
Apparently, this is like the most screen time he's had in the MonsterVerse.
Really?
Apparently, I don't know if that's true, but we were talking about it in the KU server. Like, someone mentioned that that they think this is the most screen time he's had, which is insane because he has nothing to fucking do.
Yeah.
He shows up, he kills a monster, he goes to sleep. He wakes up, he goes to kill a monster, he goes to sleep. He wakes up, he goes to kill another monster, he goes to sleep. The movie ends.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating.
It literally ends with him going to bed.
He goes to bed, which, don't get me wrong, it's adorable. He is the eepiest boy in this movie. I love it. But like, he doesn't have anything to do. He's given nothing to do in the plot. He may as well not even be in this movie. It's insane.
I mean, we were talking about it. Like, I said that this would be we were both basically saying that this would have been a better movie without him.
It would be. I really think it would be. Because I think. I mean, we talked about it a lot with Godzilla versus Kong, like the fact that Kong is treated like really, really well in the movie as a character, and this movie ramps that up like way more. Like, everything with Kong in the Hollow Earth is so good, and I kind of can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually do sort of want to see that, like, oh, I want a movie with all kaiju, no humans. I actually almost kind of want to see that now, because they did Kong so well in this movie that I actually think they could pull it off.
I only think, but the thing is like, the only way I could see them making that work is with Kong specifically.
Yes, no. If it wouldn't, anyone other than Kong, it wouldn't work. But
like,
if we
can't do it with Godzilla, because every time it's just Godzilla in this movie, it's boring.
Yeah, exactly. Like, again, it's fun to watch Godzilla do his thing and beat up the big bad monster, but like, it's just fun. That's nothing. He's not doing anything else.
I mean, one of my notes here is like, like I said, Shimo and Scar King are awesome additions, and they had a lot of personality, but like, they felt so underpowered because Godzilla's just like, he's just so strong. Like, there's nothing that could possibly stop him.
The plot armor is really, really thick in this movie for Godzilla. It's kind of insane.
Like, I thought that, like, because in the movie they clearly were just like, oh, he's powering up because there's a thing that he's afraid of or whatever, but like, he is barely in any danger. Like, there's like, I don't even think he needed to get this strong to take them on.
It really feels like there's no stakes, and a lot of that is because, you know, despite Scar King and Shimo, mostly the former, being really fun characters, like you said, like, they're not really given a whole lot of time to be developed as legitimate threats, as something that Godzilla needs to power up for. Because, like, and this might be like one of the biggest problems I have with the movie. You know, we learn about them through a big exposition dump like halfway through the movie, which that's fine. Like, that's kind of how you have to do it for a big monster movie like this. But like, we're meeting them as we're getting this exposition. you know, in Godzilla King of the Monsters, to compare it to that movie, like, yeah, we get a big exposition dump on King Ghidorah halfway through the movie. But at that point, we've already met Ghidorah and seen that he's capable of kind of kicking Godzilla's ass. We're literally meeting Shimo and Scar King as we're learning about them. So, like, there's no sense of urgency that we have to, like, oh, we really gotta take care of these guys because we're only just meeting them for the first time.
Yeah,
it really feels like a missed opportunity there to, like, you had to have, like, you got to kind of set them up. And I guess they kind of set it up with, at least with Scar King, is like, oh, there's other Kongs out there in the Hollow Earth, but, like, you don't really get a sense that they have, like, a leader who's evil. You just know that there are other apes out there, you know?
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest problems with this movie is that Scar King and Shimo are not set up properly. When they finally, when I finally saw them, I'm like, oh, they're monsters. Cool. But then, like, you know, as much as I don't like the movie, King of the Monsters with Ghidorah, like, just his presence and, like, his attitude and just, like, when you see him, you're like, oh, he's bad. Like, he's bad news. And I honestly, I don't really know how they managed to do that. Maybe it's just because I know who Ghidorah is already.
Yeah.
But they needed to if they wanted me to care about this threat at all, they needed to set it up earlier in the movie or later in the movie after we've already met them and we're doing some sort of figuring out what the fuck's going on kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the most it really does is that the Monarch base in the Hollow Earth gets destroyed. That's kind of the only thing that happens.
Yeah, that's a good point. We don't actually see Shimo and Scar King do anything until it's the final act of the movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like we see Scar King being a dick to other apes. But, like,
I mean, he fights Kong. He fights Kong.
He fights Kong, and, like, you know, clearly he's a bit of a freak. But, like,
he is a freak. But, he's a little freak.
He's a fucking weirdo.
I love him, though.
We don't see him do anything that gives me the idea that he is an existential threat.
Yeah.
You know, he throws one ape into a thing of lava, and he's got a little thingy that makes him control a snow dinosaur. But,
yes.
Like, is that really, like Ghidorah, like, he has a Category 5 storm just for flying.
Yeah. It's very clear from the get-go that, like, this guy's bad news.
Yeah, like, when catastrophic weather events are happening just by existing, like, that is really good at setting up presence. But they just did not. I feel like maybe they tried to do it with Shimo's frost breath, right? As, you know, she's shooting at Kong for the first time.
Yeah.
But it's just not the same. It's, you know, and like, if they really wanted to make it really, really scary, just make Kong's arm fall off.
Honestly,
you know?
Yeah, that would have been much. But, like, no, I don't know, because, like, I almost said, like, oh, that'd be too violent, but, like, the movie opens with Kong ripping a dog in half.
Yeah, seriously.
So, like, you probably could have done that.
Yeah, I think that they definitely could have. You know, you don't even need to make it that gory. You can make it so that Shimo's breath is so cold that it immediately cauterizes the wound.
Yeah.
Something like that. You know, there's a lot of things like that where I just figured that they're easy decisions that could have been made during production that would have made the movie better. Maybe they were trying to keep the stakes low because they just wanted it to be fun. But
I guess that's fair.
No matter what kind of movie you're making, you need stakes or else there's nothing to care about.
Yeah.
And if your human characters are basically out of the picture for the entire third act, and all of the tension is around the monsters, you can't just have the wreck shop like it's nothing. I understand the intention, but it just doesn't work as a movie. Well, I don't know. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
I think like the only thing the human characters do in the final act is that Trapper leads the Verticines over to distract Scar King or something. I don't know. He does something with the Verticines. I can't remember what he does.
He electrocutes everybody.
Yeah, that's kind of the only thing he does. But then, once they get the fight gets taken to the surface, like I don't think they have any. They're not there anymore. Like they're still in the Hollow Earth at that point. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think they leave the Hollow Earth until after. Do they leave?
I think after the fight is over, they leave the Hollow Earth.
Also, how many years have passed on the surface world?
I don't know, man. Yeah,
it's fine. I'm done caring about it. They're gonna break their rules. Who cares?
Well, I don't know, because like I've seen
they're just gonna drop it was a different part of the Hollow Earth, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever.
The big pyramids, they make time go normal.
Yeah, because they make gravity. Fucking dude, the pseudoscience in this takes a lot of. You really
stopped caring.
You really gotta suspend your disbelief on this one.
You're gonna burn so many calories just trying to make sense of it.
It's just. You don't have to explain it. It's magic. Who cares? Yeah. It's just magic.
Honestly, I feel like that fucking line from Trapper was trying to tell me something.
What line
was
that?
It's just magic. He basically says it's just magic. This place is magic.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was Adam Wingard writing that, telling me to stop giving a shit.
Also, speaking of Trapper lines, speaking of Trapper lines. When they're in the Hollow Earth and they're exploring, he gets bit by that mosquito and he's like, oh, the only female mosquitoes drink blood. They need to fertilize their eggs. You don't know that's a normal mosquito.
Yeah.
It's also in a almost completely unexplored region of the planet. You don't have any idea how many diseases that thing carries. You could have died in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's kind of stupid.
He was, as a vet, he should be a lot more concerned.
Yeah, you'd think he would know.
Exactly.
But hey, as he said, all of his patients are giant or whatever.
That's true.
Okay. Can I really hated Bernie in this movie.
Did you? Okay.
I really, really hated him. I thought he was super annoying.
Did you find him more or less annoying than in Godzilla vs. Kong?
I feel like in Godzilla vs. Kong, I still didn't really like him, but I understood his character in that. In this movie, you're telling me he knows all this shit, but Monarch hasn't hired him or anything?
Okay, that's fair.
Especially after working directly kind of with them and stopping Mechagodzilla in the last movie. You're telling me he just went back to making podcasts?
I guess so.
Like, I just...
He's just like me for real.
He is just like me for real. But, like, he's just so annoying in this. Like, I just found him annoying. I don't know. His character and the main lady, Eileen, I didn't like either of them. I thought that they were very annoying.
I didn't mind Eileen. I like that she's
had a lot of actually moments, and I hate that.
I liked her whole plot with Gia though. That like she feels like she's not really connecting with Gia as much as she'd like to, and then she's worried that Gia is going to leave her, especially like at the end when they find the Iwi in the Hollow Earth. But it's all okay at the end because Gia wants to stay with her. What a nice happy family. But yeah, Bernie, it doesn't really feel like he's had any real growth as a character.
He's the same exact character as he was in the last movie.
Yeah. But actually, speaking of Bernie, there is something kind of fun. And this is kind of going back to the Showa comparisons because if you remember, Brian, in specifically Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Ken, I think that's the character's name, the kid in Godzilla vs. Hedorah, he's got that big Godzilla toy that he sends down the slide.
Yep.
So there, Godzilla toys exist in universe. They also exist in the MonsterVerse, like, because
I did notice
Bernie
that.
has like a bunch of Godzilla toys
Yes, he does.
in his office, which is like, all right, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that I did notice that. That was cool. Yeah, I don't know. For me, he just doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe it's just the dialogue. But you know who was another standout for me though?
Who
was Mikhail.
Mikhail was fun. I liked Mikhail a lot.
I something about angry Scottish guys just makes me smile.
Oh,
I think he was
that's
Scottish.
where I recognize him from.
What?
I was trying my best to figure out where I recognized the actor from. He was in Chernobyl.
Oh yeah. He was the
he was one of the miners.
Mining guy.
The whole time
Anyone
he was
who
on
hasn't
screen.
seen Chernobyl, go see that shit. It's
oh my
great.
god, Chernobyl's so good. But yeah, I like the whole time he was on screen. I'm like, where I recognize him? Where do I know him from? He was in Chernobyl. Okay.
Yeah, you get to see his ass in Chernobyl.
You do.
Walking around naked.
Oh, he was in the Batman as well. Interesting.
As who?
As the police commissioner.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
I know that guy.
I guess he was. I haven't
He just
seen
looks so nondescript in that movie.
He's not really in the movie all that much.
No, he's in like right at the beginning and
yeah,
like right when the other guy dies, he's like doing the press conference or whatever. I don't know.
Huh. All right. Cool. Oh, oh my god, he was in Andor too. Damn it. Man, I've seen a lot of this guy.
I wouldn't know that. That's all you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You know what? Maybe that's where I recognize him from. I recognize him more from Andor than Chernobyl. Okay. All right. Cool. Moving on. Yeah, but no, Mikhail was fun.
I liked how he was eaten by a tree.
He was eaten by a tree, and everyone and like Bernie's like really concerned with the fact that he got eaten by a tree.
Yeah. I did really like the running through the forest kind of thing. That I wish there was more of that, where they're just trying to survive on foot in the Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how scary that would be?
It harkens back a lot to Kong Skull Island. You know, it's that same kind of vibe.
I hope that maybe in the future, if we get more of this, maybe like another like a standalone Kong movie. I hope we get more of just like exploring the Hollow Earth on foot, not just flying over it.
Yeah, I would have to imagine we do. I really hope we do, because it's really interesting stuff.
I'm honestly like, I'm done caring about the mechanics. I know it's never going to make sense to me. So I'm just going to try and enjoy it for what it is. And what it is a scary fucking place if you're on the ground.
Yes, very much so.
Like I got a little taste of it from Monarch, but not as much as I wanted.
Yeah.
I did think that they were going to bring back like that fucking boar monster.
Oh, that'd be cool.
When Mikhail got eaten, I thought that thing was going to like stand up and that's what it was going to be, but no, it was just a tree.
Well, we see those oh god, what are they called? The fucking war bats from Godzilla versus Kong for a split second.
Yeah.
And there's like I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of those things," cuz we only see like what, 2 or 3 of them in Godzilla versus Kong, I think. But yeah,
that's something else I wanted to talk about. Like, there's like, I really enjoyed Kong's kind of trek through it, because you see some like crazy shit with him, like that big fucking skeleton bridge.
Oh my god, that was wild.
Thing was alive at one point. What the fuck was that?
There's no way that bridge has lasted this long, because you saw how fucking rickety that was. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was pretty rickety.
It's insane that thing is still standing after thousands of years.
But Dave, maybe it's because the gravity, it doesn't work the same.
Oh my god, you're so right, Brian. How could I have forgotten?
Oh my god. Oh man.
You know, we're talking a lot about all these monsters. There's one that we haven't mentioned yet.
Oh. Yeah. And that's actually right around when we were just talking.
It is, yeah. Our little friend
the new boy.
Oh my god! I just realized, Brian, there are 2 new monkeys in this. How did we never put that together?
We're gonna change it to Godzilla X Kong, the new monkeys.
The new monkeys, plural. Well, it's funny. Today, oh god, I'm forgetting his name. G-Fest announced that the motion capture artist for Kong is going to be a guest this year at the convention.
I saw that,
and I commented on the post on Kaiju United saying, "Oh, we could meet the monkey," and Jacob reminded me that not only did he do Kong, he also did Scar King, and I'm like, we can meet both monkey.
Wow. Are you excited?
I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
Me meet the monkey.
Get to meet the new monkeys.
I get to meet the new monkey.
Oh my god. We're so unfunny. It's unbelievable.
What are you talking about, Brian? We're so funny. What do you think I should tell him about our new monkey bit?
I think you should. The new monkey.
I think I should.
Yeah. I think you should. I think you should make him a shirt that says,
"Oh my god, I totally should."
The new monkey.
I should get one of the Cavity Colors t-shirts for this movie and then like hastily like go over the design where it says Empire and just put monkey instead and gift that.
No. I have a better idea.
Okay, I'm listening.
Take that fucking picture that we have of Kong and Godzilla running at and poorly drawn, and then just have that on a shirt. It just says the new monkey on the bottom.
In Comic Sans.
In Comic Sans.
Perfect.
We're not funny.
Again,
okay.
Brian, we are so funny. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, Zuko. How do we feel about Zuko? Who, to my knowledge, never gets named on screen, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I didn't hear shit. But I think he is a fine addition.
He's a little shit. He's a little shit.
I would say I enjoyed his presence more than I was annoyed by it. My only complaint is that he is a comic relief character in a movie entirely comprised of comic relief characters. And it just gets overwhelming. But I wouldn't say that that's a knock on Zuko as more as it's a knock on just the movie.
That's fair. I mean, I don't think he's like a fully comic relief character. Like, he does have like some legitimate scenes. Like,
yeah, that's true, but you know,
I mean, he's the one where he's the character that Kong meets for the first time, where he realizes, oh shit, I'm not alone, I'm not the last of my kind. He gets the scene where I didn't even realize it at first. Like, it took me a second. Like, it took me until like Zuko was being threatened in the village, I guess it was, that like I think that character, that other ape that Scar King kicks into the lava, I guess was that one of his parents. It kind of seemed like it seemed like a parental kind of protection.
Yeah,
Zuko's the one who brings Kong his axe when the battle gets taken to the surface. So I don't think he's like a fully comedic relief character. He serves a purpose.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you know, I think that he has definitely more of a purpose than just a comic relief character. I just think that a lot of how he was implemented was comic relief. Like, I appreciated how they gave him like a story and a reason for doing things. Like, obviously, one of his parents or some kind of guardian just died.
Yeah.
You know, Scar King fucking murdered him, which Scar King's an asshole.
Scar King is like, such a bastard, but he's so fun to watch.
Yeah,
and I've already seen like like people making Wojak memes of that one point where he's like pointing at Kong after seeing his fake tooth and like laughing at him. People are making like Wojak memes out of that. I'm like, all right, very nice.
Yeah, I when I saw that, I thought that was gonna happen. Yeah,
but back to Zuko, we need to mention
we do
this might be my favorite scene in the whole entire movie. I don't know.
I'm gonna come out and say that this was my favorite scene in the whole entire movie.
Okay.
because my jaw was on the floor. Like, I was legit, like, in a movie where I thought nothing would shock me, this shocked me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I'd heard people talking about, like, oh yeah, Kong uses Zuko as a weapon, but like I was under the impression that it was going to be like during the final battle and like they're all working together to fight off Scar King or Shimo, and that was not the case. Zuko's trying to attack him along with the other apes, and Kong just he just grabs Zuko by the leg and fucking flails him around.
It's just so.
It was so.
It's so
funny.
unhinged.
It's insane. It is so insane.
It honestly, I think that part alone elevated it above King of the Monsters for me.
Okay.
Like, I already knew it was going to be better because the characters can't get anywhere near as bad. But, like, that's when I was like, okay, you have something on the worst of them.
It's because he's like the fucking ragdoll physics of Zuko is just so over the top. He's just fucking flying everywhere, and then he fucking throws him at the ape at the end. He just fucking whips it. It's like, what the hell? Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
I hope someone makes like a GIF out of that.
Oh, they already have. They already have.
Okay,
like there's a couple cam rips out there, unfortunately, but like I've seen that GIF all like multiple times already.
Good. I really, that scene was really funny. Like that, like my entire theater was like crying laughing.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah, that was great. Do you want to talk more about this, or do you want to move on to a different thing? Because I have a question.
Okay, lay it on me.
What has your stance landed on for Godzilla Evolved?
I'm kind of neutral on it. Like, I think it doesn't look, the proportions don't look as bad as they do, and like all the pictures and all the toys and stuff. Like it looks a lot more natural. In some shots more than others. But I don't hate it. Like, I think I've kind of realized like what really bugs me about the design, and it's the color of the spines. I get that they're kind of like supposed to be like bone white, but there's like a pinkish hue that makes them look fleshy, and I don't like that. They just look fleshy. And it just grosses me out.
I definitely see that.
But other than that, it's fine. I don't mind it. He's kind of weirdly skinny, but like that didn't like affect my enjoyment of the movie. Of course, it's a neat look.
Yeah, I think for me, I used to really not like it. I like the original design they had for him,
the chunky boy.
I don't know, just something about him being just a big wall of lizard. It's just
a big wall of lizard.
Yep.
That's a good descriptor.
Yep. But I think when I saw him in the movie and I saw how he moved, it made more sense, where he's kind of more on all fours now. Like, he still walks upright, but like, sometimes when he goes fast, he runs on all fours.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So, I think like looking at it like that, I think it makes more sense. Do I like it over the original? No, but I've come to terms with it. I think it's fine.
It feels more, quote, natural to see him moving quickly in this design than it did in Godzilla vs. Kong, where he was moving that quickly, but he was still like all muscle, basically.
I think that was definitely the intent behind the new design. They wanted to make him speedy. The only problem is now he's just super overpowered, and
well, apparently
I never thought I would see power creep in a movie.
Right. Well, apparently Jared Krzyzewski, who's the character designer on this movie, he did an AMA on Twitter earlier today, and he said that like apparently this was always supposed to be like just a temporary power thing. So who knows? he may go back to the original design in the next movie. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, listen, if he can kind of just change his form sometimes, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
As like a mainline design, I don't think it's my jam. I don't know. But something else I wanted to mention was I have never been so annoyed with Godzilla killing so fast. Like I don't know if you I don't think I asked you about it, but I really liked Tiamat's design, and I was so disappointed that it was killed so quickly.
Yeah. It's not great.
The only monster fight that lasted longer than a minute was with Godzilla in it was when Godzilla fought Kong and then the final battle.
Yeah.
And it was just really, really disappointing. Yeah. So I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing to like be annoyed at.
It sucks. It sucks because also like Tiamat was more or less like the MonsterVerse's version of Manda.
Yeah, like, that's what I kind of picked up on. Very Chinese dragon looking.
Yeah. So it kind of sucks that Tiamat's gone, because Tiamat's a great design too, and like she's shown up in like the comics before, which is interesting because I think like she's the first one who debuted in the comics and then eventually got shown on the big screen. So it sucks that like she got killed off so unceremoniously.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. I don't know. I don't understand why they had to do that with like these monsters like Scylla and Tiamat. I think that was it. Yeah. But like there's just like such a quick death for such cool designs. Like
I know.
With the serpent in the Hollow Earth with Kong, like I understand why they wanted, why they were gonna kill that thing, as much as I like the design. And like there's probably more of them. But Tiamat's like a titan on the like he's a big deal. It's very disappointing.
Yeah.
I hope that if anything, I hope that in the future they don't do that. I said anytime Godzilla shows up, he brutalizes any monster he's up against, and it's basically a punchline whenever he kills one. And I do not like that. That is one thing I really disliked about this movie. Godzilla's presence was just not good.
Yeah, I mean, we've already said it like 3 or 4 times, but like this would have been a much better movie as a Kong solo movie, which I understand why it's not, because like Godzilla and Kong will probably make more money than just Kong. Yeah. So like from a financial standpoint, I understand, but like I just storytelling wise, this would have worked better as a Kong movie. And also like this is the MonsterVerse. This is supposed to be a cinematic universe, but it's just all Godzilla and Kong. That's all it's been. Kong Skull Island is the only non-Godzilla entry in the MonsterVerse.
I think that another solo Kong movie would actually do really well. Everyone I've talked to about this movie, like they all like Kong a lot.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like,
I mean, like all the positive buzz I've heard is specifically geared towards Kong. I don't really hear many people talk about Godzilla at all.
Yeah. So I would like to see something not Godzilla related, but I did see Adam Wingard say that like the next movie, if they end up doing another movie with him, he'd take the same route he did with Kong in this and Godzilla versus Kong, and like kind of flesh out his character more, but with Godzilla instead. And I think that would be a really cool idea. I don't know how they do that, because Godzilla's kind of reached the peak of his character arc. He kind of reached it way back in King of the Monsters. He hasn't really gone through any development since then. So I don't know what exactly he would do with that, but I'd be interested to see it.
The only thing I could think of is maybe turning him pure villain.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like I was thinking in my head, like, what is a possible direction that the MonsterVerse could go down that would get me back on board with it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's making Godzilla a bad guy.
It would be nice. I mean,
I'm pretty sure.
that was one of my
it would
favorite
make-
aspects of Godzilla versus Kong, that he was more of an antagonist in that movie.
Yeah, and like even going back to Godzilla 2014, like he wasn't a villain in that movie, but he was definitely indifferent.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he didn't care. Like in Monarch, like he kills a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that maybe if humans do something to really piss him off, and like he just turns full villain, I think I might be on board for that.
That would be cool.
You know, it would be MonsterVerse, so it may not be exactly what I want, but I think if that's the direction they go down, then I'd definitely be on board with it.
But then how do you end that though? Like obviously you can't kill Godzilla. Like how do you resolve that story?
Maybe they could pull a Godzilla versus Destroya and have a baby Godzilla.
Maybe.
I mean, hey, that's not me saying what I want, but like it's a route. I mean, killing Godzilla, you could get away with a bunch of different ways of killing him, but not really. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It's something to think about. But I would like to see what they try with it. I think trying to humanize him is not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah, because he's a lizard.
Yeah,
just a big lizard.
That's the thing. Is like trying to make it like when they wanted to. When I heard that this movie was a lot of monster and like just monsters, I was like, oh god, Godzilla's going to be so dull. And
but then it was mostly Kong, and it worked.
You know, he was. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Any other thoughts you want to talk about?
Well, we haven't mentioned Mothra once.
Oh yeah, we haven't. We should probably talk about Mothra.
Yeah. How do we feel about her usage in this movie?
Kind of wasted.
You think so?
I don't know.
I didn't think I had heard that she was kind of wasted in the movie, but I don't think she was as wasted as she could have been. Because at least she like sort of took part in the final battle. Like I was expecting her to just kind of show up, tell Kong and Godzilla to play nice, and then kind of disappear. But she was kind of present for the final battle. Like she was protecting the portal from from Scar King getting to it, and she was making sure our cast of human characters were safe. After that, she doesn't really. I don't think she is seen once after that. But
yeah,
other than that, I thought it was all right. She was a supporting character.
I think for me, it's kind of the same with Scar King and Shimo. Like, there's just not really any build up. Like in King of the Monsters, there's build up for her showing up.
Yeah,
and I know she's already been introduced in this universe, so it would be weird to kind of do that over again.
But we did see her die.
We did see her die. That's true. But they did tease her coming back. And like, you know, we know that Mothra comes back. That's like her whole thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like they could have set her presence up more. And made it more impactful for when she shows up and when Gia becomes her emissary. But I don't know. I don't think it's the worst. I just think that it could have been better.
You know what really sucks about Mothra in this movie? The fact that King of the Monsters kind of set up something Shobijin related with the twin doctors.
Oh yeah.
And they haven't touched upon that.
No, they haven't.
Ever again.
No,
they
now
had the
there's just
perfect opportunity to do it here. But they were like, nah, Gia's our Shobijin in this universe.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed with that. Yeah, I didn't even think about it until you just told me now.
And I saw
so disappointing.
Well, it's funny because I saw people talking about that with Monarch, because the whole MO with that show is that it's about, you know, the legacy of Monarch. that group of characters is all about legacy, because the character in King of the Monsters says, "Oh yeah, my family's first generation monarch," and they don't touch upon that ever again.
I completely forgot about that. Wow.
It would have been this would have been the perfect opportunity to pick that plot thread back up, because you're bringing Mothra back. But
it's such a wasted opportunity.
I know.
Fuck. I mean, I get it. Like, you wanted Gia to do something, like be important.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, we were talking about how there was that other monster that was supposed to be in Mothra's place.
Oh, Phosphora. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I saw something that Wingard said is that it was always supposed to be Mothra. The script originally had, it was always Mothra. They just weren't sure if they were going to be able to get the rights to use Mothra in the movie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that is what Adam Wingard is saying. Let me see if
I mean, honestly, I think with how the movie was, like,
okay, here we go.
I would have preferred it to be the other monster.
Yeah, so here's the quote. There was briefly another character called Phosphora that we had in place of Mothra, but Mothra was always what the character was written around. And there's this false narrative online that this other character tested badly, and then we were like, let's get Mothra. The plan was always Mothra, but we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get Mothra. And once we tested the movie and we had the previous version of that, and by then things had cleared up and we were able to do Mothra.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I think a different monster would have worked better. Because then we could still have Mothra twins at some point. But then you also have Gia having this thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it ain't the first time the MonsterVerse has rewritten its own rules.
Yeah,
and
it's just
kind
of getting
the
annoying.
last. Yeah,
it's just getting annoying a little bit. And it's also just gonna be bad for business after a certain point.
You think so?
I think so. I think people are gonna start getting really annoyed with how some things are set up in other movies, and then they just let it go.
That is the whole like thing that you're supposed to do correctly in a cinematic
That's the whole
universe.
Point of a something verse is having continuity.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're going to have to do a lot of retconning to fix it, or they're just going to have to go as long as they can without caring.
Hey, Legendary.
It doesn't matter.
If you need some people to be your lore guys for the MonsterVerse, give us a call.
Bro, I'd fucking do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would love to be.
I'd clean your universe up so good for you. I mean, I want to say, I feel like I saw someone mention that there is a Godzilla lore guy at Legendary. I'm like, damn, that'd be the coolest fucking job ever. I don't play it anymore, but there were people who did that for Destiny.
No, oh yeah.
There's so much lore that they needed like a team of people to keep track of it all.
Well, I know Star Wars has it, like the Lucasfilm Story Group. They have them in place to make sure everything fits together. It doesn't always work because like you have stuff like just recently the Bad Batch just brought Asajj Ventress back from the dead, even though she died in Dark Disciple. Oh well, they haven't really explained that, but whatever.
All right, what now?
Well, I got one more thing, and then we can probably move on, because I am the sole defender of Tom Holkenborg's score for Godzilla vs. Kong, so I feel like I have to weigh in on the score for this film.
I actually have something I want to say about that too.
So, I do like the score for Godzilla vs. Kong quite a bit. This one, it was okay. I do kind of like Godzilla's theme a little more. I don't know if it was just how it was used in this movie, but it doesn't feel as bargain bin ifukube this time around. I think it's just used more smartly. again, all the Kong and Hollow Earth themes are really, really cool. I actually really like the music that plays in the opening when Kong is being chased by the wolves. That shit hits. I like Skarkin and Shimo's themes. That's fun. There was one track when I was listening to the score itself the other day. They were I swear to God, I think they were like actual monkey sounds used in the music. Hold on, because I was kind of live tweeting it on the Talking Toku account. Let me see if I can find which one it was. I swear to God. Oh yeah, the track. Yeah, it was the last tweet I put on the thread. I said, "Excuse me, Mr. XL, but are those actual monkey sounds in New Kingdom?" So if you want to go listen to New Kingdom from the Godzilla X Kong soundtrack, I'm pretty sure there are actual monkey sounds in that track. I know there was a lot of controversy with the Mothra theme because it's kind of, but I don't hate it. Like, I know people are like, oh, I want the original Mothra theme. It's like, okay, well, here's the thing. Like, Godzilla music isn't just Ifukube and Yuji Kaseki. Like, it can be other people. I realize we haven't had an original Mothra theme since 1961. Like, even Michiru Oshima, like, she reused the Mothra theme for her version in Tokyo SOS. So this is like the first actual new Mothra theme we've gotten since 1961. Actually, I don't know. I would have to go back and listen to the GMK soundtrack. I don't know if Mothra has her own theme in that. I'd have to go back. But it's not, I mean, it's not great, but it's not like terrible. I think it sounds like as divine and godly as it should. And I know there's like the story like, oh, maybe it was written for Phosphora and not Mothra, which I guess that makes sense, you know, in hindsight. But I think it's fine. It does kind of bug me that when they're in the Hollow Earth and they find the Iwi ruins and they see the carving of Mothra on the wall, at that point, you do hear the Mothra theme for a split second, and then when Mothra shows up, it's not the Mothra theme, so it's a little confusing. But like overall, like it's okay. I think I prefer the score to GVK a little more. I appreciate that there's a couple different things he's doing musically in this one, but like just composition wise, I think I prefer the score to GVK.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree. Honestly, what I was going to say was that out of all the MonsterVerse offerings, the soundtrack for this movie was the most forgettable.
It is
for me.
Yeah. Like I
liked their kind of synth stuff at the beginning, but it seems like they completely forgot about it later.
It's
like they had a style that they kind of wanted to set up, and then they just kind of forgot about it.
It's a bit of a mix. It shows up every so often, and I do wish they'd kind of like commit to one or the other. I wish they would have
leaned more into that style.
Yeah,
like,
I think
more like synthy and kind of wacky, but they really, it seems like they are too attached to some pieces of music, but they want to insert this new stuff, but I don't know, it's just confusing.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, a really synth heavy soundtrack isn't something we've really gotten from a Godzilla movie. Maybe Biollante. Maybe Biollante to a certain extent, but like...
It's been a while since I watched that. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, and that was also in 1989, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
See, I would like... And apparently there are rumors that, like, at least on Godzilla vs. Kong, like, Adam Wingard wanted more of, like, a traditional film soundtrack, while Hulkenborg wanted a more synth-heavy, or maybe the other way around. I don't know. And I guess this time around, they just kind of wanted to keep with the sound that they established on the last movie. But I would love to hear a more synth-heavy score to a Godzilla film. I think that would be super, super cool.
I think it would do a lot for giving this brand of Godzilla its own identity.
Yeah, for sure.
Even honestly, even if you wanted to just make if we ever get a standalone Kong movie, I think a synth soundtrack for that would work great.
I think so too. Yeah, because again, like I really, really love like the Kong and Hollow Earth themes, and those are the more synth heavy ones.
Yeah, like right around the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's used definitely in like Hollow Earth scenes because it's so it's just wacky and exploration, and it just kind of fits.
Yeah.
But when we're outside of that kind of bubble, like it doesn't really have a whole lot of coherency like the other ones do. Like the Godzilla versus Kong, that soundtrack was very it all sounded like it fit together.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that's my thoughts on that.
Y'all done? Is that it? Is that all we have to say on the new Monke?
I think so. Did you say your score? Would you give it?
Oh, I gave it a 3 out of 5.
I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Oh my god, we didn't like talk about Shimo all that much. We talked about Star King and not much Shimo. Shimo's the best. I love her. She's just a big old puppy dog.
Yeah, Shimo's cool. I just again wish there was better setup for her. But other than that, yeah, really cool idea. For some reason, gives me a lot of Monster Hunter vibes.
I like how Kong pets her under the chin at the end of the movie. It was very cute.
Yeah, Sam was not happy with how doggish Shima was.
Why?
She was like, have some self-respect. You're badass all on your own.
No, Shima was great. I love her. I will say I like how the finishing move is just Sub-Zero at the end when they kill Scar King. It's just a Sub-Zero fatality. It's awesome. I love it. Good
exactly stuff. A Sub-Zero fatality. It was actually surprisingly brutal.
It was because Kong just like annihilates every fucking bit of him. It was pretty sick.
Actually, you know what? This was one thing I wanted to say, and I said it to you already, but just wanted to pose it. Wouldn't the movie have been better and would have made more sense in balancing Godzilla if Scar King actually got his army onto the surface world and Godzilla just to deal with a bunch of apes? it would have been better. That's the only way they would have even had a chance against him.
I think so, yeah.
And even then, like he still would have vaporized them in like a minute.
Yeah.
So that's just, I'm done ranting about Godzilla. But that's just the last thing I wanted to say.
Okay.
All right.
I think that's all we got on Godzilla and Kong the new Monkey.
I hope you guys liked it more than I did.
I think a lot of people have. I think people are really reacting well to it, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I've definitely been seeing a lot of positive buzz. Again, even though it's not my flavor, it's not really my thing. I'm glad other people are having a great time, and I'm glad that this is going to be a good gateway film for a lot of people.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see like what G-Fest is going to be like this year, because
it's going to be a weird mix
with both this and -1 doing so well. It's going to be insane, dude.
So they're going to have to move it to a new venue pretty soon.
Another new one. They just moved to a new venue.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, okay. I think when we went in 2019 was the last year at that hotel, and then they moved to a bigger hotel, like right down the street.
Oh shit! That makes sense.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to move to a bigger one already.
Yeah, you'll have to rent out half of a convention center.
Well, there is the convention center like right across the street from that hotel.
That's like a music hall, though. Isn't it?
No, I think it's like an actual convention center.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought it was a music hall or something. I must be misremembering.
I mean, you could use convention halls as music centers. I mean, the DCU Center in Worcester, Massachusetts, like that's both a convention center and also Iron Maiden is playing there this year. So,
that's pretty.
It works.
Hell yeah.
Shall we move on to our final segment, Brian?
Go ahead.
What new cool kaiju thing are you checking out right now?
Just get the acronym out of your
Brian,
system.
I said this last time. I only say the acronym when we have guests on to bug you. I'm not going to say it now.
Okay. I just feel like you're thinking about it.
I'm always thinking about it, Brian.
All right. For me, what have I even been checking out? I don't know. Been busy. Let me think. I don't think anything, honestly. Haven't really been. This was like the Godzilla X Kong was like the one thing
Yeah.
I really had planned, and everything else I've just been kind of not, I don't know. Nothing, I guess.
All right, that's fair. I've been checking a couple things out. I read Meg Origins, which is like a short novella that takes place. It's basically just expanding on Jonas's first encounter with the Meg in the trench. That like kind of kickstarts the entire series.
Oh, so like when he first sees it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of neat. I found it funny how in less than 100 pages, Steve Alton still managed to find some time to objectify women.
Good old Steve Alton.
Because it's like, so I like when we first meet Jonas, he's like having a dream, and it's like, oh, he looked over to his wife and saw her oiled up grapefruit sized breasts. I'm like, dude, do we really need to be hearing about this? Because he's dreaming about this when he's all fatigued and tired, and that's why, they're like unsure of whether to send him down to the trench again or not. It's like, do we really need to be hearing about this? Do we really need to be hearing about this?
We need to hear all about this woman's melon tits.
Jesus Christ, dude! I'm like, come on,
tell me all about it, Steve.
And he's and like, Mac is like, I mean, Mac throughout the entire Meg series so far is a fucking womanizer. I'm not, that shouldn't surprise me at this point, but still. Other than that, like, it's fine. Like, it's kind of neat to see that story kind of expanded on. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of, again, it's like, it's less than 100 pages. I've finally started reading The Lost World, which I can't remember if I have before. I used to have a copy of it, but I don't know if I ever actually read it all the way through. I don't know how far into it I am. I don't think very far, but it's been kind of slow burn so far. But then again, like Jurassic Park was kind of slow burn as well. It's funny because like I know Malcolm is like sort of a dick in the first book, but like he's even more of a dick in The Lost World.
What does he do?
He's just like always irritable. He's never not having a good time. Or he's never having a good time. He's just always kind of like angry.
He's always having a great time. He's just vibing.
No, he's just always kind of like annoyed at the world, which again, like understandable because like technically he does technically die in the book. So like Michael Crichton had to like retcon that. It's like, oh no, I was falsely reported dead. I just had a bunch of surgeries and I'm fine. I have a cane. I limp now, but like I'm alive. But yeah, no, he's just like always angry and irritable. It's kind of funny.
Actually, kind of related. Do you think in the next Jurassic World movie they're gonna have him back for a single scene where he talks about mankind being bad?
I hope not. I don't want them to reference anything. Please, Gareth. Please don't let us down, Gareth.
Gareth, please.
Okay, that's it though. That's all I've kind of been checking out. I haven't really watched anything else recently.
Yeah, honestly, GXK was like,
that was it. Yeah,
that was kind of it.
Are you surprised, dear listener? Are you surprised that was the new cool kaiju thing that we checked out? Better not be.
Well, I am. This is kind of related, but I got Regal Unlimited, so unlimited movie tickets essentially.
Oh, nice.
Because there's a shit ton of movies coming out, but Sting is coming out soon.
Oh, we should review Sting. We should review Sting.
Very excited. Chris Stuckman had put out a review for it today.
Oh, really?
And he says it is like perfect if you double feature it with Eight-Legged Freaks.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Brian, this is gonna be peak then. This is gonna be a good fucking movie.
Because it was, well, they showed the trailer for it in front of GXK, and it was the first time Sam saw the trailer for it, because when I tried to show it to her, it was like not working.
Oh, okay.
But man, seeing the trailer in theaters, oh man, it got me hyped. I'm so excited.
So much fun, dude. I'm so excited for it. When does that come out?
I just love how there's just a guy in the building that just knows things about spiders, and he's just
right.
A character in the movie. It knows what it is.
Yeah.
Let me look up the release.
April 12th.
April 12th. All right, so that's real soon. That's like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's next Friday.
I'm so fucking excited. We should absolutely do a video on this.
No, 100%. A video? A video?
Oh, not a video, a review. God damn it, a review.
Okay.
It looks great. I'm very excited. Like, as someone who loves Eight-Legged Freaks and who's been asking for more big insect movies, like, this is like perfect.
Yeah. No, it looks great. I'm really excited.
Getting what I wanted.
I'm gonna mark this down in my Talking Toku notes for future episodes.
Hell yeah.
Sting review. Well, hey, on the topic of new episodes, it's a good thing I have you here, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
We got a pretty cool episode coming up next. It's not coming out until April 12th, I don't think. Oh no, no, it would be the week after. My bad. No, I don't want. No, I don't want. I didn't. Okay, there we go. I accidentally made a new event on the calendar. I didn't want to do that. Yeah, we're having our good pal, Adam Griffin from Thirsty Thursday Toys on to chat with us.
Another Washington man.
Yes, and it's going to be a great time. But, Brian, I have a question for you.
What's up?
If you recall, way back when we first linked up with Adam, he had asked, like, oh, let me know if you guys do a part 2. I'd love to come on. I was talking about it with him, like, do we want to try to make a cocktail?
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm down.
I had the thought, like, we could all base it around one theme, or it could just be like a dealer's choice thing. We can do whatever the hell we want.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna get back to you on that.
Okay.
Because I feel like
keep in mind
having one theme, it would be easier.
Keep in mind we're talking to him next Monday, the 8th.
The 8th.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
You don't have to answer now.
Let's just. What do you feel like?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
Okay.
I'm down to do either way.
I think if we do it around one theme, we might have like very samey drinks.
Okay.
But if we do separate things, then like it could be interesting. But also if we have a set theme, then we have like a direction to go in, and I'm not just gonna sit there thinking about what to do for like an hour.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
Yeah, I think let's just do random.
Okay,
like
dealer's choice. You got it.
Dealer's choice. Let's do it.
So, yeah, we'll be talking with our good pal Adam from Thirsty Thursday Toys. Not next week, but the week after. So, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun because Adam's a cool dude, and we love him here.
Goddamn right.
So, but yeah, I think that's going to be it for this episode. This was Talking Toku. Go follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, all at Talking Toku. Join our Discord server and come hang out. We don't do anything there, but join us anyways.
I've been playing a lot of Halo.
That's true. We got to play more Halo.
Yes, we do.
go check out Kaiju United on their website and Facebook group and Discord server as well. There's always fun stuff going on there. And yeah, I think that'll about do it. Do you have anything else to add, Brian, before we take off for the day?
Nah, dude. That's it.
Okay. Cool. Go see the new Monkey if you haven't already.
Go see it. Ooh, ah, ah.